House Crime. I'm back again with another video. I hope y'all are doing well, doing great, staying productive, enjoying this holiday with your family, your friends. It's about love, sharing, giving, okay? Shout out to all my members and my moderators. Shout out to all my new and old subscribers. I appreciate y'all. Today, we are going to be discussing Classic and Sincere. Today is 1 year, December the 21st, since these babies have been missing. It is a disturbing moment, time. Two little boys just don't vanish. A lot of red flags. A lot of interesting things. So I'm going to get into it in this video. Swiftly, briefly. This case has a lot of people that don't agree and agree with each other. And that's okay. Over here, if I see something suspicious or it's a red flag, I will state that regardless of what nobody says, thinks, or feels. That will be done over here. That's how we get down. If something is suspicious, red flag, I have a question, we're going to question it. All right? And that's just what it is. I've always had the same questions, the same concerns, the same red flags. In this case, nothing has changed. Same as in all the other cases. If something doesn't look right, doesn't feel right, I'm going to bring it to the table. All right, so let's get into this. California City. It has now been a year since two little boys vanished from their home in California City. There are so many parts to this mystery. A 3-year-old, a 4-year-old vanished on a dark, cold night in California, around 76 miles east of Bakersfield. The city's 14,000 residents and thousands from across the nation are searching desperately for answers. Here's what we know. 3-year-old Orson, 4-year-old Orrin were reported missing California City on December 21st, 1 year ago. Authorities still have no idea where the boys could be. No idea. We've questioned multiple people. We've searched multiple places, said Chief of Police John Walker. So at this point, we have nothing that actually shows us or proves what happened to the boys or where they're at. Orrin and Orson were born in Bakersfield. Their mom is Ryan Dean. She gave the boys their birth names, Sincere and Classic. Their last names were Pettis. I quote, "I was living fine with them before they came and got them," Dean said. A small incident happened. Child Protective Services took the boys near the beginning of 2018. I was at work. I noticed my baby cry was normal. When I got home, I took him straight to the hospital. They say his femur bone was broken and twisted. The baby she's talking about is Orrin West. He had a broken thigh bone. But Dean said she didn't know how it happened. Let's pause right there. This has always been a red flag to me. It was a year ago and it still is today. In an infant, a femur bone is the hardest bone in any body, in all of our bodies. And in an infant, someone had to do something to this child. This is logical thinking. Common sense thinking. Okay? Somebody did something to the child. Dean says she don't know how it happened. As a mom, I would try to figure out how it happened. Find out who hurt my baby. Handle it appropriately. Bring charges upon who hurt the baby. I just found it very odd, red flag, that she just didn't know how it happened. You cannot bring an infant into any emergency room with a serious injury, especially an infant that can't walk and break itself, and say, I don't know how it happened. They're going to look at you like you're the parent, you're responsible. You can't say that. You can't just give me that. You got to give me something more, something better than that. Just like when I took my 4-year-old, for example. He was visiting his father. He ended up getting a 3rd-degree burn on his arm. Okay? One of his aunties, slow behind, left a hot cup of noodles sitting on the bed. So my 4-year-old went to the bed, was reaching for a remote. The bowl poured over on his arm. It had to be smoking hot for that to burn my baby 3rd degree. So I'm pissed. I'm snapping. I go take my baby to the doctor because it's like his skin. You know, I'm panicking because his skin, my baby arm, never going to be the same. Well, the doctor, his pediatrician, yeah, they know him. They know us. But still, they want a reenactment. They want answers. Okay, what happened? Because their job is to report. They are mandated reporters. So, my other children that was there that witnessed it, broke it down to him, reenacted, showed him this is what happened. He looked at the injury, and you could see the bowl line of where the bowl must have just sat on his arm and burnt it before his response was to move and scream. But yes, they have to see what you're saying is aligning up with the injury. If not, they're going to report it. So, everything messed out. We got medical attention. It would have took about a month for my baby arm to heal. Today, his skin is almost back, but you can still see where the injury is. And that was about a couple of months ago. But that's example is you cannot bring a child into any doctor, emergency room, whatever. As a parent, we are responsible. We're supposed to know. And if we don't know, our job is to find out. If you can't give them reasonable enough, they're going to report it. As they should. Because a child can be getting hurt or abused. Now, so like I said, that right there is the hardest bone in the body. It's very, very suspicious and a red flag to me. Somebody did that to that baby. I've always standed on that. I always felt that way. It never sat well with me that I didn't know how it happened. Okay, it never sat well with me, and it's never going to. And nothing came of it. That was another thing. Somebody should have been charged. They should have found out who broke that baby femur. They should have put charges on who hurt that baby. None of that was never done. That's very suspicious to me. I have a problem with that. Period. So the last time she saw her boys was at the end of 2018. She, and I quote, says, I have a good background. I don't have a police record, never been in jail. And I quote, in 2018, Trezell West, 34, Jacqueline West, 31, became the boys' foster parents. The West family adopted them in 2019 and renamed them Oren and Oren West, but on December 21st, the boys disappeared. And I quote, that's all I want is to find our babies. That's it, Trezell said. Trezell West says his wife Jacqueline was wrapping Christmas presents. At around 4 p.m., she told Orrin and Orson to take their chalk and go out to the fenced backyard to draw on a concrete slab. Now, if y'all seen photos, the concrete slabs is very small. Something is mentally wrong with Trezell and Jacqueline if they thought that those two little babies was going to stay on that small concrete slab with chalk and write anything. They're toddlers. Since when does toddlers stay in one spot? I've never seen it. Trezell wanted to build a fire in the fireplace, and he went out the back door. He opened the side gate, left the yard to gather wood. He walked past the boys as he carried the wood into the house. I quote, "I came in the house, saw them there, went into the house, came back out, didn't see them there," Trezell said. "I realized I left the gate open and I panicked." Something always been wrong with this story. It has always been a red flag, and it still is a red flag to this day. Two boys don't just disappear in a couple of minutes. That you want us, we the people, to believe that you went into the house to drop off wood, turn around, came right back outside, and they're disappeared. You don't see them anywhere. Not running to the front, not walking around the front, not in either left or right neighbor's yard, not walking down the street, just vanish. Always been an issue with that story. Always been a red flag. Never sit well with the queen. Never, ever. I've always believed this was a lie. This was a story you concocted, you and Jacqueline, to cover from y'all getting the boys gone. Whether you didn't want to take care of them or where you couldn't take care of them anymore. This was a cover-up, a story you concocted. That's what happened. That's just what it is. This is a story narrated by no other than Trezell and Jacqueline West. A neighbor's security camera shows at 4:32 he jumped into the family's white van. He says he had drove around the neighborhood calling their names and talking to neighbors. Now, when that neighbor's security camera showed us that video, he literally drove out of the driveway, went to the left, went to the right, turned on the right street, turned around, and came right back. That was literally 5 minutes. That is not going all over the place, driving around all over the place, calling and talking to neighbors. Not all in 5 minutes. No. So that video didn't add up to his statement of what he told the news, to what he told the police. It never added up. He then called the police more than an hour later. Another red flag. Boom. If your kids is missing and you love and you are not responsible for them getting gone, you're going to call the police immediately. Why wait more than an hour later? To concoct your story, for you and Jacqueline to get your story straight, for you to what? Call your family, Trezell, for you to have them narrate that story to make sure all was on point, all on one accord. Yeah. He then called the police more than an hour later. California City Police and dozens of locals searched the area for the kids that night. But the adoptive parents say police told them to stay inside their home. "The cops told us the best are out here," Jacqueline said. "The best are out here searching," Trezell said. Also, that is a bold-faced lie. John Walker came out and made a statement to the people saying he never told Jacqueline Trezell not to come out and search. He corrected that publicly. So that lets us know, with common logical sense here, they lied. They just didn't want to go out and help them search because they know the kids wasn't out there. It's pretty common sense to me. I'm not going to go out there and help you search, law enforcement, because I know they're not out there. So why would I go out there in the cold, waste my time, my energy? I'm just going to sit here and act like I care when I really don't. That's what it is with these two. So they came up with a lie because people are asking them, neighbors, people out there, you know, family, why you ain't out here searching? So they come up with, oh, they told us not to. Well, John Walker came out and busted y'all wide open. He said he did not tell y'all not to search. A few days later, police got a warrant to search the house. They sent canines inside multiple times to attempt to find the scent of the boys. The chief says the dogs found the scent inside the home, but didn't smell the children leaving the house. I do suspect foul play, Walker said. I quote, I do suspect foul play. I've always felt and observed, forget feeling, is what you see. What doesn't make sense? It never made sense, and I always seen bullshit. And I've always suspected foul play. So, someone caused those boys to go missing. The last people allegedly with those boys, Classic and Sincere, was Trezell and Jacqueline. And here we are, a year later. They have not yet done another interview, talked to anybody. They have moved on with their life, like they know that the boys are gone. Law enforcement has gone in and out of the house many times, occasionally removing evidence. We've looked everywhere possible in the house we could possibly look, Walker said. They even dug up the backyard in the beginning of the investigation, but the chief says these searches didn't reveal any new information. The California City Police Department has 13 officers. The FBI and Bakersfield Police quickly joined the investigation as supporting agencies, and eventually Bakersfield Police took over. We consider those kids our kids, and we're not used to this kind of thing happening in our town. And that's crazy, because y'all have a lot of bodies that come up in that desert. So I am confused on how you're not used to that kind of thing in your town. Maybe not 2 kids going missing at once, but y'all be having some weird things in that desert. Police say the adoptive parents have been cooperative. They have 4 other kids, 2 biological, 2 more adopted. Walker would not confirm their ages, but the adoptive parents say that Orrin and Orson are the youngest of the siblings. Walker wouldn't say whether police have questioned those children. With common and logical sense, I'm sure, with a child protective service, a child advocate present, I'm sure that they did question those kids to see if their story, their account aligned up with Jacqueline and Trezell. Likely it didn't. Okay, that's why they was removed out the home for their protection. Suspicious circumstances. But he did confirm they were taken into foster care and will remain there until a court case is settled. Good job, CPS. The parents are given a court order case plan. If they complete what's asked of them, they then can get their children back. A spokesperson for the Department of Human Services in Kern County. I'm interested to know what it is they have to do, because if they can't come up with the younger 2 children that they had, they do not need the remainder 4. If you got 2 children missing, why would I give you 4 other children? Make that make sense, Kern County? Find Classic and Sincere, and then talk about them getting the other children back. If they can't produce Classic and Sincere, we don't need to give them the other 4 children, because we don't know what they have done to Classic and Sincere. These 2 have not ever shown empathy, sympathy. They never gave 2 cares about Classic and Sincere. They shown they moved on with their life. They could care less. They're not looking. They're not putting out flyers. They're not searching. They're moving on with their life. Do what you do. That is the energy. That is what they have given us. Nothing. They shown they don't care. Narcissistic sociopaths. Young narcissistic sociopaths that was coming up off a money scheme, adopting children, fostering children. Somebody snap, maybe a little bit of PTSD, Trezell. You went a little bit too far. Did it get a little bit too much? When things get too much, you take the children back. You do not harm them. Eventually, those boys will come up. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. It might not even be 10 years from now. But one day they will, and y'all will be arrested, and you will go down for being responsible for Classic and Sincere going missing 1 year today. It's your girl, Queen Talks Crime. I'm out. I love you guys. Peace.